Hey guys, and welcome back to Scarlet Sprites for what will most likely be a divisive opinion on the Konami collections announced yesterday. I guess I'll just ask right from the start, were you excited about this? The way this news traveled and was hyped yesterday, I actually thought that there was a new Castlevania or Contra game announced, but that's not what's happening here. This is a set consisting of 3 packages, each with a different theme: Castlevania, Contra, and early Konami arcade games. I believe this is in celebration of Konami's upcoming 50th anniversary, and so much like SNK releasing a pack for their 40th, Konami decided to do the same thing. Now, unlike the SNK 40th though, I'm left feeling pretty apathetic to the Konami announcement. That seems a little hypocritical and maybe SNK fanboyish, but hear me out here. In SNK's case, they skipped over their mainstream system, the Neo Geo, and focused on delivering an official way to own arcade versions of their early titles. It also was sold physically in both a standard and a collector edition set. The arcade game pack from Konami mimics this model mostly, aside from not being released physically. I definitely find this the most interesting of the 3 packs, and at roughly $20, you're paying $2.50 for each included game, which seems okay. The Contra and Castlevania packs though, this is where I start drawing comparisons to Netflix devices. When Netflix was first offered for 360, I thought it was awesome. Here is a really cool delivery system to get movies streamed into your home. Cool, I have this on my video game console. Then Netflix appeared as an app on my Blu-ray player. Seems a little redundant, but fine. Next, it's being built into digital media players, the TVs themselves, tablets, phones, more video game consoles, and all of a sudden I have more goddamn ways to stream Netflix than I even have TVs. Now, let's be clear, choices and options are rarely a bad thing. They give us flexibility. But there is a certain point where you just can't expect an audience to care too much about regurgitation, and that's why I use the word apathy. In the truest sense of the phrase, I have pretty much zero reaction to the announcement of yet another compilation package that is being released because it's one for which we already have plenty of options for. Again, choices aren't a bad thing, but how many different ways do you already have for playing Castlevania and Contra games? I'm sure quite a few of you have the original carts, which granted is pretty awesome but might not be a large portion of the population. Okay, however, a lot of the people who like to comment on my arcade videos and mention how unnecessary real hardware is because, well, RetroPies, I can assume they have the option to play these titles on that setup. If you want to talk more legitimate emulation, Castlevania 1 and 2 are on the NES Classic, as well as Super C. And let's not pretend as if you didn't add the other games yourself as well. If you purchased the more recently released Super NES Classic, you also netted yourself a legitimate copy of Super Castlevania and Contra 3. I know a few of these titles have also been released previously for certain eShops. I know people emulate these on PC. Many of you out there also have EverDrives. We really could spend a lot of time discussing the various avenues for playing these games, but you guys kind of get my point. There are options. Now, circling back to my Netflix story, you know that it doesn't bother me that we have all of these delivery mechanisms, but what does cause a little concern is when that becomes the focal point rather than the TV itself. Do you kind of see what I'm saying here? I just don't want to settle for complacency and regurgitation. Hopefully you're working on making newer or better products and are not simply resting on redistributing something that people already have access to if they really want it. Now, I love Nintendo, but they have been as guilty as anyone with this recently with porting Wii U titles over to the Switch. This is a little different. You could make the argument there aren't as many ways to play the Wii U titles as the Konami games, but the spirit of my concern rests here as well. Essentially, show us something new and then support it and promote it by offering us the highlights and greatness of the past. Announce a new Contra game and then sell the Contra Legacy Collection alongside it. Or even better, include it in a deluxe package or as a bonus for pre-ordering. These types of things should be the appetizers leading up to a gorgeous new entree, because if you're just feeding me things I already have plenty of, well, I'm really just apathetic. That's all the time I got for today, guys. Just some personal thoughts on this announcement that I'm sure will split my audience, but that's okay. Discussion is what we are here for. Thanks so much for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Later, guys.